Morning everybody, how are you doing today? So I'd like to share with you today my morning thoughts regarding when people don't get what they want. They often have a very childlike response of sulking and getting upset. And all this is just like ego. So adults are like children. The ego is very attached and inflexible. It gets fixated with something, and when it doesn't get it, it feels upset or irritated or angry or unhappy. And because we don't like these feelings, what we do is we then obviously, well, if it's a situation, we're sulking, and most situations are with people, involve people. So what it does is, because we don't like our bad feelings, they're fine feelings, but they're uncomfortable feelings, they're not bad. So because we don't like our feelings inside of us, we want to change them or escape from them. What people typically do, well, they'll either withdraw and go away on their own somewhere. They'll try and distract themselves. They'll try and withdraw from the situation so it doesn't get any worse, because they find it hard to handle the emotions. Or they'll try and change. Typically, they might try and distract themselves from feeling bad. Like, let's say after the situation is over or during the situation is still happening in their life, they may watch television, drugs, sex, food, especially, anything, exercise. But one thing we often try and do, which is very much typical, and you see this all the time, is we will try and control other people. So this is an attempt to manage our own emotions and to get our own way. So, and we give out to people, criticize them, blame them, attack them, try and isolate them, be emotionally distant from them. All of these different strategies and tactics to try and change people. And you see this in families, work, friends, all over the place. I remember many years ago, my friend, I wasn't feeling well at the time. My friend wanted me to go to parties, and I just didn't really want to go to the parties because I was feeling tired and because there would probably be smoke and people who I just didn't really feel like hanging around with. But he ended up getting very upset with me and disappointed, and it kind of asked me loads of questions, in an interrogated, very unfriendly, unkind manner. It's because he was pretty upset. But anyway, he was judging me so much, as if I was just being being a bad friend, etc. And he basically wasn't listening or understanding me too much, but he just wanted his way, in my opinion. Now, I know it is it's a complicated situation. You might think, oh well, friends are supposed to do this, but at the bottom line is, if we don't get our way, then we get upset with people and we get angry or irritated, and then we try and we try and manipulate them to get our way through various different means. And I've seen this in myself. Everyone has seen it in everybody. This is what part of being human is like. You learn. You become from childlikeness to immaturity, from immaturity to maturity, and more aware and spiritual and empowered. So now you just check that out yourself, the ego, the conditioned thoughts in you, being attached, trying to control people, manipulate people, trying to get your own way. It's all about you. Very selfishness, very self-absorbed. The thing is, for example, let's say we come home from work though, and our partner just is ignoring us or something, or not ignoring us, but let's say they're a little bit not really affectionate, or they don't seem happy that we're home at all. This could hurt your feelings to some degree, for sure. This is a little bit harder form of attachment, but I'm not talking about just doing nothing here. I'm talking about not having your emotions being controlled by other people. So if people don't do stuff, or they do stuff, you don't get all upset and upset and sad or angry or whatever. So if somebody's doing something we don't like or whatever, all we gotta do is ask them, how come they're doing that, or is everything okay? Or you can say, hey, I really like it. You gave me more hugs when I came home, or just seemed happier. Are you happy to see me? It's more like a bit of a childlike, innocent type of straightforward communication, which a child has, because they're not all full of the fears and the ideas of you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that, you should do this. So this is really all about investigating your own uncomfortable emotions and just understanding yourself and why you're like the way you are, and just ask yourself questions and investigate if you're being reasonable or kind or fair with your friends or family or workmates, and then just try and loosen the demands, the heavy emotional demands you have on people, and the pressures and controllingness, and to quit controlling, basically speaking, and just start harmoniously co-creating in non-attachment. But you're definitely a co-creator, and you're definitely active, so you're not complacent for a lot of the time. Sometimes you might just chill for a few minutes or a few hours or a day or two or more. And for me, I think nearly all the other times, if there's ever any disharmony in any relationship, it's generally definitely action of some kind involved. But just always be looking at yourself first. It's a beautiful day here today in Ireland. I'm getting a bit of sun in my back garden. I was covering my face there in this video because I have a bit of a red face, to be honest. I got a lot of sun yesterday and today. So it's about not denying our feelings and honouring them as they exist, but trying not to create any more new uncomfortable feelings, not to keep sustained any of the existing anger and mind-generated attached ideas and expectations, etc. Attachments. So it's okay to have it's okay to have hopes or wishes, but try not to be attached to the expectation. I think it's okay to expect, sort of loosely, casually expect people to be nice to you, but definitely don't be attached to it. So if someone's in a bad mood and not friendly and nice to you, don't let that upset you or get you down, because that's non-attachment. You don't let it upset you down. Upset you down. So it's about feeling our feelings and facing and honouring the ones that are already there, but trying to become aware of our ego and dissolve it, so we don't keep it there forever, and we let it release, and we don't create lots of new pain. So like for me in my own life, I never really hardly ever get angry anymore, thank God, because I've expressed like all the anger, like nearly all the anger that's inside of me. I never really get irritated either, like, or upset. Almost never. And if I do, it's just for like a few seconds, or maybe if I'm unlucky. Just kidding. Maybe if it's particularly challenged, I might be a bit upset for like a minute or two. A little bit. Like yesterday was a little bit sad. Maybe not sad. Maybe just like upset a little bit. Because I felt Sally was like being distant or just distant or not, like pushing me away like a bit. But it was only because my foot was digging into her side. So she wasn't trying to like push me away on the sofa when we were watching the internet, watching a film. She just kind of pushed me away because I was hurting her. My foot was digging into her side, but I didn't realise it was just that. Like, there's one or two other little things that I wasn't sure of in my mind before that. But then we just talked, and it was fine. But the thing is, like, I made a post on Facebook the other day. If like an orange that's squeezed will only produce orange juice because that's all that's inside of it. Where if we don't have anger inside of us and we're squeezed and challenged, we won't get angry. And that's the way I experience it now and feel it out in my own life for sure. Like almost nothing at all gets me upset or triggered. Almost nothing, almost never at all. And that's only because I've done a whole lot of inner work, and just anger or attack isn't in me anymore. I don't really have unfriendliness there or judgment anymore. I'm just an empowered person who takes responsibility for my own emotions instead of ever blaming or putting responsibility on other people's behaviour for my emotions, for my own well-being. I never blame other people for how I feel. That's silly, because then you're just you're just like a poor old person who's totally out of control of your own emotions, like totally depending on things being good on the outside. And the moment things don't become the way you want them to be, then you're going to get upset. Like that's kind of like a crappy way to live. And it's a way where you're always trying to control people and manipulate them because you need them to be a certain way in order for you to be happy. So, for further like kind of thoughts on this, like I totally love and recommend Anthony DeMello on YouTube. He talks all about attachments and not being dependent on other people or outside sources for your happiness. Hey, kitty cat. So, hey, morning. Nice cat, eh? So I'll leave it now and say thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Feel welcome to subscribe for future videos. And just there, wait a minute, somewhere. And feel welcome to share for your friends or anybody on Facebook or whatever else. And other than that, I hope you have a lovely day and just keep growing and learning as a human being and keep progressing. And just keep enjoying the journey and in harmonious learning. And knowing that you're being guided by your guides, you're loved by so many people, you're loved by your guides and passed on loved ones, and you're also loved by people here who are still in the body. And there's a divine timing for everything, and just look out for the signs of your little synchronicities, and keep aligning with your higher self, and follow the signs and follow what resonates with your heart, and you'll be doing absolutely perfect. Alright, well, until next time, lots of love and peace. See ya.